All right, let's get started. I'm really excited about tonight's webinar, you guys. It's been a while since I've done a webinar for the BDP online, and I'm just super excited about this subject that I picked. We all want to succeed in what we're doing. It doesn't matter what we're doing. We all want to see success of some sort, and we all have a different definition of that. But tonight I'm not going to talk too much about that. I'm actually going to talk about tools for success. And what I mean by that literally is I am going to show you the tools that you have at your fingertips already in the Isagenix Business. And I'm also going to show you the tools that all the tools I'm going to show you tonight, tools I actually use, okay? So we're so fortunate at Isagenix. We have so many magnificent things right at our fingertips to help us build this business and to help, prospect and be able to get our friends and family and people that we love excited about what we're doing. And, the thing is it was so hard for me to narrow it down. So tonight, I'm going to be sharing with you just the tools I use for prospecting and for sharing Isagenix with the people that we care about most, which really, if you're on this webinar right now, if you're in Isagenix, it means that you care about everyone, pretty much everyone you come in contact with, because that's the business that we're in, you guys. We are in the caring and sharing business. We are in the business of helping people feel their best, right? Whether it's getting fit or making extra money so they can stay at home or retire their husband. That's the business that we're in. And I just want to remind you of that because it's really neat that we get to, be a part of something like this. When I went full-time with Isagenix, it changed my whole life, my whole world. And, I was actually on a bike ride with my daughter this morning, and before she doesn't, they don't start school till mid-afternoon. They're just in kindergarten. And she said, Mom, can we go on a bike ride? I said, absolutely, let's go. We got on our bikes, we went out, we went on this huge trail. We were able to go on this whole thing, and we kind of were passing the freeway, like you could see from a distance the freeway. And she said, Mama, is that the freeway? And I said, yeah. And she said, look at all those cars. And I said, I know, honey, those are all the people that are going to work today. And she kind of looked at me and she said, huh? And I said, what? And she said, it's so nice that you get to make money and you don't have to go to work every day. And I almost brought tears to my eyes because I thought, you know what? This is why I'm so excited and so passionate about what I do. I get to be a two-star golden circle, make a great income and be at home with my kids the majority of the time. And tonight's tools are going to help you guys be able to do the same thing and really streamline your efforts, all right, so that you can really take control of the success that you're looking for. And tonight we're going to talk mostly about the business and financially. Physically, I'm on a cleanse day today, so I feel great. So we all know the products work, right? So today we're going to dive into the business and the tools that you need to succeed. So I found this online and I put it on here because I think I'm going to be talking about some different aspects. For example, tonight you guys are listening to this webinar online. Okay, you're also, we're going to be talking about social media, some tools for social media, videos. Pretty much everything I do in my business now has to do with the internet and my telephone, And so I love this quote because it says, there is a war going on for your mind. There's so many different places your mind could be at, right? And if you're thinking, you're winning, right? And it says, reach within you and find the means by which to gain your freedom and fight with tools. Your fate and that of everyone you know depends on it. Isn't that awesome? Freedom. Fight with tools. If you're winning, you guys, you're fighting with tools. So all of our business has to do with what we're using. So by definition, I'm so literal sometimes and kind of analytical, a little bit of a control freak if you don't know me very much. I'll be honest with you right now. But I wanted to put this out here because I thought it was kind of interesting, the definition of a tool, right? If you haven't started reading this already, I'm going to share with you. It says an implement, such as a hammer, a saw, or a spade that is used by hand, a power-driven instrument, right? The cutting part of such an instrument, anything used as a means of performing an operation and achieving an end, right? He used his boss's absence as a tool for gaining influence. I could go on, and there's so many different definitions for tool. So it was kind of fun as I started heading into this webinar. But here's what I took from that, right? Power instrument. Oops, time cutting. Let's go back. Here we go. Time cutting. tools to get rid of your boss. I love that, right? A necessary medium to a profession. Doesn't matter what you're doing, you've got to put on your tool belt, right? And utilize the things that are at your fingertips. So, here's the neat part. If you use the tools all the time when you first get started, and then you continue to use the tools all the time the way that I'm going to show you, you're going to duplicate. And that's what business is about. It's about duplicating. It's about making things so simple, everyone can do it. Now, that doesn't mean everyone's going to do it, and you need to decide which one you are, but it means that it's duplicatable, and if you can do it, so can they, right? Begin with the end in mind and make it simple for everyone you're sharing with. So you're going to stay current with new tools that are useful, right? If it's not useful, if you say, this isn't useful for me, doesn't mean it's not useful for somebody else, but if it's not useful, it can be a distraction, and you'll know by your results. Are you signing people up with that tool, et cetera, okay? If your team is growing, the tools are working. And that's the straight talk. There you go. Oftentimes, you will be using more than one tool to accomplish your goal, right? It's like George Luis, an Isagenix millionaire, he always says that. And some of the BDP things, he's always giving us different kinds of tools. I love that about him. He's always edifying us with, hey, if maybe you're not this kind of a person, but maybe you're this kind of person. So we're going to talk about some different things. Tools only work when you use them, right? And that's what I liked about the definition prior. Success. Okay, here we go again. You define your own success, but action is the foundational key to all success. So that's what I mean by that. When you're using some of these things tonight, just pick one. If it's overwhelming to you, slow it down, right? Because you're in a fight with your mind right now. Okay, slow it down. Pick things that you're going to use, all right, as we go throughout this. So many tools, so little time, right? Here you are, there you are, right in the middle there, okay? We have the Isagenix videos right off of your website. So when you first get started and you have your own personal website, you have the tools there. That whole website is loaded with information. I'm going to just talk about what I use off of it. We also have my Isa videos. That's a contact manager, and you can create video presentations. And, it does cost money. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But you have the tools section right in your back office as soon as you log in. You can go in and you can find several tools, which is where I found several things I'm going to show you tonight. You have this website, right, the BDP team site, howtogetgoing.com. I'm going to show you some things on here. You have Facebook. Here's a snapshot of my Facebook page, okay? I can't even begin to tell you how much Facebook has changed my business. I absolutely love it. All right. But so social media, okay? And you have events, right? 2012 celebration is coming up. It's in Phoenix, Arizona this year. It's very accessible. You guys all need to get your tickets now. If you haven't, right, you've already missed out on the early bird special, I believe. I'm not quite sure, but hopefully you haven't. Check it out in your back office. But events build belief. And don't make any mistake that is an absolute business tool. You will see all of the leaders there. They will have as many of their active teammates there as they possibly can because events build belief, you guys. 3 days after I signed up in Isagenix, I went to an Isagenix celebration, my first one ever. Changed everything for me. So there are 3 things that are really important that I'm going to talk about business tools tonight, and that is contacting, presenting, and following up. And this is the heart of our whole business. This is what we do every day, day in and day out. We're contacting people. We're presenting them with something. We're following up with them. Okay, so I have built all the tools based around these daily actions that if you're building your business, you're already doing. Isn't that great? So we're going to talk about some face-to-face tools, all right? So business cards, brochures, flip charts, enrollment forms, things that are tangible in your hand, okay? Weekly meeting tools, right? So this is if you start a weekly meeting wherever you're at, or if you already have one, what do you need? You need a PowerPoint. You need some enrollment forms. You need things right there. And if you're using social media like I am, then you're going to want to utilize our already incredible BDP site, which I know all of you guys know is incredible. But that's what we're talking about. Face-to-face tools. I mean, if you run into somebody in the grocery store, your purse or your back pocket or something better have a business card, a brochure, or a chocolate even, or something in it, because that's you connecting with somebody immediately. You've got to have something on hand. So when we talk about contacting people, especially if you're brand new, I always get this question, well, what do I say? And I go, okay, what do you love about Isagenix? What captured you? You know, and they start to get their story. But until then, you guys, the tool is you got to use your leader. I was doing a call with one of my really good friends now, Mark Goodman, that I met on Facebook. He's a phenomenal leader. I see so much more potential in him than I even think he realizes right now. He's just phenomenal. He's going to be an Isagenix millionaire. But, you know, the thing is he uses me. He uses me as a tool. And he goes, hey, you know, I've got this guy. I put out this post on Facebook. Can we call him? Absolutely. Let's do this. You know, I'm always going to do that with him. Yes. Until he can do it on his own, which is going to be so short in such a short amount of time. Yes, you need to use your leader for three-way calls. Well, guess what, you guys? If you look over here, I've got this little red arrow pointing to the BDP site. This is on our How to Get Going site under the Essential Guides. Right on the home page, it says how to make three-way calls. And it teaches you, it teaches you, you know, if Mark's brand new at this, he'll go, okay, I need to make sure that when I open the conversation and I introduce, you know, Adrianne to my potential business partner, that I edify her so that she sees significance in her, you know, that there's a reason, there's a system to the madness, right? There's a system to the three-way call, and you need to go over that, right? So it's right there. How do you use scripts? Well, George has scripts that he's created for you right online. Now, I am such a big proponent of always sharing with your heart, sharing, you know, following your heart. What would you say? What's your purpose in talking to this person? You know, dig deep with them. But until then, if maybe you're not comfortable doing that yet, utilize the scripts. They're there for you. You'll gain an understanding of how to talk to people in this business, in our business, the business that you've chosen to be a part of, just by utilizing these scripts, okay? And they're phenomenal. I mean, you could be in a grocery store. You could use those scripts. You'll be online. You'll use the scripts, you know? I mean, they're so simple. It's like, you know, how are you? Great. Well, tell me more about yourself. What do you do? Oh, I'm an engineer. Oh my gosh, how long have you been doing that? You know, it teaches you how to converse, getting to a point, right? Teaches you how to converse and still be able to deliver your message. There we go. That's what I'm trying to come out with here. Deliver the message. The message is Isagenix, right? Okay, so you want to be yourself. Whenever you're working with social media here's some more talking points over here, right? Here's some what to say to your prospect. There you go. There's a good one, you know? And be yourself everywhere you're at. You really get to be yourself. You want to show up authentic every single time, because each one of you who's on this webinar, over 40 people on this webinar right now who's listening in, okay, you get to be authentic and you get to be yourself. Don't get worried about when you're using the script that it's not going to sound like you, because you are you, you're unique. There's no other Ben Howard in the world. There's only one. You're going to sound like them, right, no matter what you say. So especially when you're using social media, you'll see here I took a caption of something I posted out the other day. Well, if you're on social media, there's a constant chatter going on 24 hours a day while you're sleeping. It can be a little bit anxious sometimes. You can get some anxiety over it when you first get started. Don't worry about it. Take a deep breath and jump in the game. Okay, you've got this. But you still get to be yourself. Look, I posted out how I was feeling. You know, today is one of those enlightening days where you get really clear on what's next. I love it. Anyone else super clear? Okay? Statement, quote. You could put a quote in there, something informational, something they can utilize throughout their day. I know you guys see other people doing it. Start doing it, okay? The next thing you want to do is find something, a visual aid, something that relates to it. Social media is very visual, okay? So if you're using social media as a tool, okay, you want to make sure you add something that's visual that allows people to go, what in the heck is she talking about? Oh, that's what she's talking about, okay? And then here's what happens, okay? You get to respond to the comments. If somebody has commented on something you posted out, which sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, okay? If you got to be inventive, right? Nothing's ever a failure. If you're not getting comments, you just need to reinvent yourself. Again, reinvent what you're saying. Always be positive, you know? Okay, but here's this guy, Chad Ashby, you know, and he says, I'm not so clear here, help me. Well, that gives me permission to connect with Chad. I don't even know who he is. He's not one of my friends yet, but I'm going to connect with him now. That's what I love about it. You'll never run out of leads. I know that last week's webinar was on that. Never run out of leads. But here's the deal. This is duplicatable, right? So if somebody new comes into your business, you will be able to do all these things with them, right? You'll be able to connect them with your leader, or you be the leader and you do 3-way calls with them. You'll be able to help them find the scripts on the BDP site so they can print them out, put them in a binder, and start learning how to converse, right? You'll be able to, they're always going to be themselves, right? You'll be able to share with them on social media. Hey, I saw this thing once on a webinar where if you make a statement, post a picture, you might get some comments, and that gives you permission to contact those people, right? So that's the deal. That's the name of the game. All right. We're presenting still. We're in the presentation part, right? We're always presenting something from the minute we walk in the room, you know. So if you're face-to-face, you know, with somebody, or you see somebody out in the grocery store and you could just have this feeling you need to talk to them, right? You don't want to be scrambling for a tool. You don't want to be scrambling for something. You want to always have something on hand, right? So we talk about, if you visit isasalestools.com, everything says Isagenix all over it, you know, and you can create and design your own business cards. You can pick and choose from several different designs. That's a great tool. If you already have your own business card, great, just use that. It doesn't really matter. The point is that when you're face-to-face with somebody, or really anywhere with a prospect, you want their information as well. But if you have something to offer, they're more willing to offer something to you, right? Like giving you their name or their email address or their phone number, etc. And that's what makes this business work, is by building those lists. So you want to make sure you have brochures on hand. This Just Give It 4 Days brochure, one of my favorite brochures of all time, okay? Because it allows people to see the simplicity in what we do, which oftentimes we come out and say, oh, I've got this 30-day cleanse and this, da-da-da-da. Some people go, whoa, 30-day cleanse, and you go, let's just give it 4 days. You know, give brochure. That's a great brochure to have on hand. A catalog, right? A product catalog. This is for somebody. I usually don't give away product catalogs right away, but if somebody says, you know, I really want to see everything you have to offer once they've ordered, oh, sure, I give them a catalog right away. You know, I help get them started. Look at this catalog. Look at all the wonderful products they have to offer you. You know, if you're going to be ordering products every single month, look at the freedom in it. You know, that's a great thing. That's a great tool to have. I love this Have It All DVD. If you are planning on communicating face-to-face with a group of people or one-on-one, this is a great DVD to have, okay? It's called Have It All. All the videos that are on your site are on there. It literally has it all, okay? So if you're looking for something to share. Now, when I'm passing out a DVD, if I hand somebody a DVD as a tool and they say, hey, I want you to watch this, I put my information all over that DVD, and then I ask for it back. Okay, just so that you know, that's a kind of an old school rule, but I totally ask for it back. I go, hey, I'm going to let you watch this real quick, but I really want it back. When it would be a good time to reconnect with you, right? We'll go grab a coffee at Starbucks or something, or, you know, I want my DVD back, but really you want to follow up with that person. So that's a great tool. Magazine. Oh my gosh. Have you guys read this Prosper magazine? It talks all about Product B. Product B, baby. I love Product B. Product B is the plan A. Everyone is looking to feel younger and look younger. This magazine is all about that. You need to get this. This is one thing. You know, if I don't have any of these other things, if I've got this Prosper magazine and my information's in it, you know, you could leave that in a doctor's office. You could put it somewhere, but connect with people. This Prosper magazine, if you've got, you know, let's say a big networker who's on a line or something, he's got to see this. He's got to see those numbers in there. He's got to see those millionaires in there. That's a great tool for face-to-face. A flip chart. Okay, now this is an $18 flip chart, comes with a DVD, teaches you how to do a presentation. Okay. The only thing I would say that this is missing, which is kind of a huge deal, is the business portion. It has very little on the business, on, you know, becoming a consultant, the me plus two, them plus two. If you're in my group, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but it's all over the Isagenix website, right? Me plus two, them plus two. It's lacking in that area. So if you're going to follow this flip chart as a beginner guide, make sure you watch like 3K 30 days. You understand how to help people make money, okay? Become a consultant. Really, that's how simple it is. But enrollment forms, this probably should have been at the very beginning, right? Begin with the end in mind. You would like to enroll some people in what you're doing, right? So you want to have an enrollment form pad out everywhere you're at. I always carry an enrollment form in my purse, because who's to know that I'm not going to have a great conversation with somebody and say, hey, I just happen to have this right now. Let's get your product ordered today. Don't wait. You know, I'll connect you with all my online resources, but don't wait. Let's get your product ordered. So that's that. All right. weekly meetings. If you have one or if you don't, or if you need to start one in your area, okay, here's the tools that I use. You just set up a weekly meeting, you guys. It's so simple. I mean, pick a time, pick a day, pick a time that works for you, that you think people would come to it, you know. You start inviting, you and your teammates start inviting, right? Okay. And you've got to have a PowerPoint or something available, right? You know, BDP version, we're having a BDP version coming soon, because the PowerPoint you maybe see down here, this is in your back office under library under the business section. You've got a company approved opportunity presentation right there you can download to your computer. You have a show me the money PowerPoint. How about that, right? Instead of a flip chart, you got this right here, download free. 3K in 30 days PowerPoint. I probably wouldn't use the 3K 30 days unless I was doing a training with my new teammates. But the company approved opportunity presentation, absolutely go get it, okay? The other things I would have on hand, to have it all DVD, right? The Prosper magazine, enrollment forms. Gonna need those everywhere you go, I'm telling you. That's a big one. Got to have those enrollment forms, okay? So we have the meeting timeline. I put this out here tentatively in case you've never done a meeting. I just want to give you all the little tools that have to do with prospecting tonight. So I tentatively put together a meeting timeline. So if you're starting your own timeline here, you've got, you know, you have a teammate introduce you as a speaker. Somebody introduces somebody to speak. Somebody's going to be the speaker for the night, right? You share your Isagenix story, quick 30-second story. You know, there's a webinar on that, all about sharing your story in the BDP archives, okay? You play a PowerPoint or a DVD. Let's say you play a video, What's Aging You, okay? You give a brief explanation on the 5 pillars of health, right? You know, you cover the financial solution. And by this, I literally mean draw out a consultant triangle. Show them how they make money, okay? You know, there's so many ways you can do this, but if you're not drawing circles on a board every single day, or drawing circles on a paper, or doing a webinar showing circles, you're not doing a business. You've got to show them how they make money, and that's literally what I mean by that, okay? They're going to be drawing circles on a board. Video, Enterprising Women, okay? So right after that, or even before that, you could do an Enterprising Women video, or Retire Wealthy, or heck, you could do both if you have time. These presentations don't need to be long. They just need to be effective, right? Pass out enrollment forms. You end the meeting, you thank the guests for coming, and you answer questions and objections. And that's your job. And that's it, you know? And it's super simple. That's how you do a weekly meeting, okay? Now we're going to talk about presenting online or long distance. So for this, okay, I've got some little tools here I'm going to put up, all right? Sending videos from your site, right? We've got a video manager, and we create web presentations. So I went into each one of these somewhat individually. You can see there's a strip along the right side. That's the strip that you'll see on your Isagenix site when you're sharing videos. There's video managers down here, the My Isa videos, and the web presentations. How many of you guys have held your own webinar? Okay, if you haven't yet, you need to seriously consider doing that. So here's what you're going to send. This is when we're talking about videos, okay? All of this is not coming out right. It's fine. Okay, here we go. What to send? Okay, so this is usually what you see, right? When you go into your ISA videos, you see here, you see featured product videos on one side and the business videos on the left, and then you see this share tab, right? Well, if you click on send, that goes to Facebook. So you can literally send it as a private message. Just make sure that you've clicked on the right video, and you see it in the middle here. You see this woman with the yellow? That's Enterprising Woman, the beginning of it. I know I'm going to be sending Enterprising Woman as soon as I click send. Same thing with down here at the box. You'll see that little gray box that looks like an envelope. That's for email, and also Twitter, and LinkedIn, and a whole bunch of other stuff you can see down there. That's for when you're just sending to that way. So this is also very duplicatable, you guys. Here's my 4 favorite videos: Enterprising Woman, Retire Wealthy, What's Aging You, Are You Toxic, right? These are all things a brand new person can come in and they can click on these share tabs and they can start sharing with people immediately what they have to offer, okay? So that's the neat part. 3K30days.com. If you go to 3K30 Days, if you haven't seen it yet, I did a whole webinar on it. It's one of my favorite training tools. So, but I have actually used this recently and in the past to promote my business, to share with people how they can make money. And I say, the first 10 minutes is super interesting. Whatever else you get out of it, great. But wouldn't it be a good time to call you back? It's so simple. I send that to people who are very business minded, and they're like, oh my gosh, how did that girl make that, extra $30,000 in 90 days. And I'm like, well, let's talk about that, right? So those are some things that I personally like. These are the videos I'm always sending. The 2 product videos at the bottom, the 2 at the top there. Very simple and duplicatable. Now, video presentations, right? Okay, so a contact manager. This is something that you don't necessarily need to have, but it's something that I love, okay? And let me tell you why. This is the My ISA videos. If you go to myisavideos.com, you can see down there, you can sign up, right? It's going to link it to your Isagenix website. I think that there's 3 different packages they offer. The bottom one, the lowest one is $9 a month. The top one's $29.99 a month. I don't even remember which one I have, but I started out with the $9.99 one a month when I first got started, when the tools first introduced. But if you're sending lots of videos, which most of you are, right? If you need assistance with contacts and follow-up, is that not like one of the biggest challenges of this industry? Is like, oh my gosh, I forgot about Sally. I told her I'd call her back. Oh, literally, that's what I like about this is it puts in there, it'll have a list of like warm contacts, hot contacts, follow up with Sally right away. She just finished watching this video. You go in there and it's just phenomenal. You log in and it allows you to create custom video presentations. So like, let's say you have an athlete who's super excited about, the business. And so you want to send her both, but you don't want to bombard her with like different videos. You can create an actual clips of the videos, like a presentation video clips of it with your contact information on it. And the best part about this, if they actually watched the video or not. How many of you guys have ever sent somebody to a video and they're like, yeah, I watched it. And you're like, oh yeah, what did you like about it? And they're like, well, I didn't have time to watch it, really. I didn't have time to watch all of it. Did you have time to watch any of it? So you'll know for sure if they watched the video. So if you're one of those people who's like, my time is precious, my prospect's time is precious. If they don't watch the video, I'm going to send another one later. I'm not going to wait for them to watch it right now, right? I'm on a roll. And so that's why I like this myisavideos.com. It's a huge tool. It's like an all-in-one kind of a thingy. It's just really phenomenal for sending videos and following up and knowing who you need to be in contact with. So it does cost money there, and we kind of went over that. So online web presentations, real quick. Okay, so this is what I meant. If you haven't done a webinar yet as a prospecting tool, I highly encourage you to do so, all right? Now, if you're part of the BDP, if you're in the BDP organization, then you actually get a free web service. If you go to bdp1.net, it allows you to sign up for free, right? And you can have as many as 15 people on your webinar. And if you've downloaded, right, the presentation, the company presentation from before, then you can do web meetings all day long. You could be chatting with somebody on Facebook and be like, oh my gosh, I think now is a great time for me to share what I have with you. Do you have a couple minutes? Sure, I'll send you a link. Real quick, you can send a copy and send a link right into the chat box on Facebook, and you can meet with that person immediately. I do it all the time. How do I know if my prospect's interested? I know pretty quick because I've just put them on a webinar with me or somebody else, right? So we offer this free web service, okay? You just sign up for it. It's super easy. You can send the links, and you can host your own web meeting. So this is awesome because, I have a guy that I'm signing up right now actually working with down in Cedar City. So he's not that far from me, right? We're both in Utah. But I'm not going to drive 4 hours every day, right, to go see him. So when we met online, I said, hey, I'm going to send you a link, and we'll meet. And he said, sure, sounds great. He had his brother on the line. Little did I know, they were both networkers that had previously been in another company, phenomenal leaders, really excited to work with them. And they're interested in what I have to offer because I didn't have to wait at all. There was no wasting of time. It was like, oh, here you are, here I am. Let's meet. Let me show you what I have. So what we're doing right now, this web meeting, you could be doing your own as a presentation meeting online, okay? You've got to be doing that. Another thing I want to share with you, too, George Ruiz does this. He told me the other day he signed up a girl named Yahira. She's amazing. But she's out in Hawaii. Well, she's not going to get out to Hawaii, every day to help her, but she'll invite as many people as she can. She'll invite like 10, 15 people to her home and say, hey, we're going to listen to this friend of mine online. Is it okay if you come over and I'll give you some samples of the products? So her first She became a consultant in less than 48 hours because her first meeting that she did on Isagenix was online with George Louise, one of the millionaires. And he didn't have to be out there with her physically. He was there with her right online. This is the future of network marketing. You don't have to be everywhere at once. That's the beauty of duplication. That's the beauty of leverage. Okay? Leverage is how you make a lot of money and only having to put in a little bit of time. That's what all of you on this want. All of you on this webinar want. I know it. I know it deep down. So learn some of these things. Don't be afraid of them. Don't count yourself out because you don't understand them. Go learn. They're very simple. They're meant to be simple. Okay? Download the presentation to your computer. Start hosting your own meetings online. Don't wait. So I'm going to go into the follow-up portion of this real quick, and you're asking yourself, well, what kind of follow-up tools could you share that you haven't shared already? Because a lot of these things are follow-up tools. If you have tools on hand, they say the average person has to be followed up with a minimum of 7 times before they might join, before they'll get on the bandwagon. So, tools are always a great way to continue to prospect and with the same people, but you're going to connect with this person using the scripts, right? I choose to connect everywhere, but I do like to connect a lot on Facebook because it saves me time. I'm going to send them a video. I'm going to follow up with them and enroll them. And then I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it with their people. I'm going to help their people do the same thing, right? You want to find those people who are ready for this opportunity, and you'll know right away because you have every tool at your fingertips. So this is a duplicatable process, and I would have to say a repeatable process, okay? This is what we do all the time, you guys. That little, triangle of love right there, that little thing that you can do it over and over again, that's what we do every day. Make it simple for yourself. Call them to enroll them. I always tell people that. I might meet people on Facebook, but I'm always meeting with them on the phone, and I know eventually I'll always meet every single one of them in person, okay, whether at an event or if they have enough people for me to come out and work with them individually. But, send another tool. That's what I meant by that, too. So if they didn't watch one video, send them another one. They didn't get it yet, right? If they say no, it's because they don't know enough, right? KNOW, that's what Jimmy Smith says. So you need to send them things so that they know enough about what you're talking about. I said the same thing to my sister today. She has a friend who she really cares about. And I said, why don't you just tell her she doesn't get it? I don't want to be rude. I said, that's not being rude. She's asking for your help and she's not listening. So say, hey, you don't get it. I really care about you. Would it be all right if I sent you another video? Sure. I guess I can handle that, right? Set up a 3-way call. Look, you didn't get it the first time. Is it okay if I call you with one of my really good friends? His name is George Reed. Right? Set up a 3-way call. Continue to reuse the tools as a reason to follow up. Remember that DVD you gave out? Go back and get it, right? Remember that video that you sent? Find out if they sent it or not with my ISA videos. We are constantly using these tools, you guys. These are all my favorite tools I've shared with you tonight. And this webinar is a tool. There are over 40 people on this webinar tonight, and it has been a privilege watching all of you guys come online and listen to this. It's so exciting because I know that this is a tool for you. If you or the people you care about couldn't be on here tonight, this webinar is recorded, you guys. It's a tool provided to you by the BDP. Every single Monday, we have something of great knowledge that we're utilizing as leaders for you to be able to pick up and run with, and you can watch them over and over again. And here's my thing, just focus on using one tool until you feel confident, all right? And so, maybe you're scared of webinar services. Great. Go with trying to post out something useful on Facebook that connects people to what you're trying to do financially, right? But here's my general rule. If you're using something, you're doing something, and you're winning, right? Leanne Jackson, she's another one of our millionaires. She says, if you're in Isagenix, you're in it to win it. Whenever you do that is on your own dime, right? But you're in it to win it. So utilize the tools, you guys. And that's what I wanted to share with you guys tonight. Please watch this webinar again. Doing a tool webinar was kind of crazy because, like I said earlier, it was so hard to narrow down. but I think I've narrowed it down pretty well. I've given you some great tools tonight that you can use. Until you understand everything, watch the webinar again and go and do. Like, pull up the webinar when it's posted out on BDP tomorrow, watch it, and do what I'm telling you to do as I'm sharing it with you again, because it's recorded. You're going to love it. I mean, this is how we learn these days. My little girls are learning how to do math online these days. It's crazy. So success is yours, you guys. Thank you for attending tonight. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be a part of Isagenix. It has changed my life. I believe it will change yours once you get it into your heart. And success has always been yours and always will be, and that you can find it here in Isagenix, especially if you're utilizing the tools. So we will see you another time. Thank you so much. Have a good night.